Hi students, this is U. Visweswar Rao. I am a maths lecturer. My qualification is MSc BEd. I have more than 15 years experience in teaching. Today I am going to give you one demo class. You please listen carefully, and if you like my classes, you can contact for my online classes. Today I am going to give you one class in calculus first year intermediate. Topic: first principle of the differentiation. First principle of differentiation. Of course, this is a definition of the differentiation. So the definition of the differentiation. What is the definition? There is a function f of x is called differentiable at x. F of x is a function which is called differentiable at x if the limit h tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x by h exists. Generally, the function is finite only, will be exist. If this function exists, then we can, if this limit is exist, then we can say f of x is called differentiable. And this derivative of f of x is denoted by f of x. See, if limit exists only, we can apply the first principle for finding out differentiations of the given functions. And differentiation of a function is denoted by f dash x or dy by x, dy by dx. We can say derivative of the function. If limit only exists, we can find out the derivative of the function. Here we are discussing about the functions where limit can exist. So before that, I am going to give you little interpretation about the first principle. What is first principle? Limit h tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x by h. See, if there is a function y is equal to f of x, and by graphically if you represent that function by a curve or chord, see, if there is a point some x from x, and automatically its y coordinate will be some f of x, and this x varies to some h, some x plus h, then its y coordinate f of x plus h, means this point is x plus h, f of x plus h, and this point is x, f of x. See, to finding out the gradient of the curve at these 2 points, automatically what it will be, this will be the some delta x and this is delta y. The difference between y coordinates and the difference between x coordinates, that is f of x plus h minus f of x by x plus h minus x is nothing but f of x plus h minus f of x by h. This is delta y by delta x, and this is called gradient of the curve or slope of the curve at these 2 points. Suppose if this h, because x is varies to x plus h, and this h tending to 0 means this point will automatically trying to coincident to this point. What is that point? X, f of x. At that point, this line will become a tangent. So, this line touches at this point x f of x, and slope at that point is called the derivative of that curve. So this you can show by the definition dy by dx is equal to limit, because h tending to 0, not exactly 0, but it's tending to 0, then f of x plus h minus f of x by h. This is the definition of the derivative, or we can say first principle of the derivative. I think you can understand it. Now, by using this principle, we are going to derive, we are going to finding out differentiations of some functions, derivatives of some functions where the limit can exist from that function in the given interval. But from first year, just I am going to give you one example. Please listen carefully. That is, so suppose if there is a function y is equal to f of x, some 3x square minus 2x plus 5. What is the derivative of this function? We are going to finding out by using first principle. So what is the first principle? Dy by dx is equal to limit delta x tends to 0 or h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h. Just you are going to substitute these values directly, we can get. See, limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h. What is f of x plus h? Actually, f of x is 3x square minus 2x plus 5. F of x plus h means 3 into x plus h whole square minus 2 into x plus h plus 5. This is f of x plus h value minus f of x. F of x means as it is. That is 3x square minus 2x plus 5 whole by h is there as it is. Now we are going to simplify. Limit h tends to 0. Just to simplify in this bracket, what we have? 3 into x square plus 2hx plus h square minus 2x minus 2h plus 5. Of course, we have to simplify this also. Then in the next step we will do it. Minus again 3x square minus 2x plus 5 whole by h. Right. Now the next step is, actually by h is here. Yeah, by h is here. Remember, I'm going to rub this. Right. What will come here? Limit. Actually, what we are finding out? Dy by dx. Yeah. H tends to 0. Simplify. 3x square plus 3 2s are 6hx plus 3h square minus 2x minus 2h plus 5 minus 3x square plus 2x plus minus 5 whole by h. Are you following me? Listen. Is there any doubt? Is there any confusion? Don't get confusion. Listen. So limit h tends to 0. Just simplification. See, this is plus 3x square and this is minus 3x square gets cancelled. This is plus 2x and this is minus 2x gets cancelled. And plus 5 minus 5. Minus 5 plus 5 gets cancelled. Finally, we have 6hx plus 3h square minus 2h whole by h. Right. Now limit h tends to 0. When we are taking out common h, 6x minus 3h minus 2 whole by h. Because I am taking out h, in this h will take out, and 3h square means only h will come and one h will be here, and from this 2h, h will come out. So h gets cancelled. Now we are applying the limit. What is the limit? Limit h tends to 0. So 6s minus 3 into 0 minus 2. This is nothing but 6x minus 2. That means derivative of f of x, 3x square minus 2x plus 5 is 6x minus 2. Now, we can do many functions which can exist, and the function should be finite and should exist in finite. One more example I am going to go. And now I am going to give this class for high school level students. Just from geometry I am going to give you one example problem, because you can understand how can I take even for high school level students also. So if actually the topic is circles, and just I am going to tell you a simple theorem, how can I explain, you can understand, listen carefully. The concept, actually the theorem is, before going to state the theorem, I will tell you, see if there is a circle with radius, some radius r, and if you draw two tangents from external point, from one external point, it touches at 2 points. And suppose this PA is one tangent and PB is one tangent, and this is the circle with radius r and center O. And the theorem is these two lengths of the tangents are equal. So now I will tell you the statement of the theorem. What is the theorem? Lengths of two tangents from an external point to a circle are equal. This is the statement of the theorem. Actually, when we are going to give proofs of the theorem, first we should write given. So given means we are going to write the given information. What actually they gave? They gave you one circle with some radius r and center O. There is an external point, some point P, which from P we are going to draw two tangents which are touches this circle at A and B. So this only we will write. What? C is a circle with center O and radius R. P is an external point of the circle. PA, PB, two tangents from point P to the circle. From point P to the circle. I will write here. PA, PB are two tangents from point P to circle. This is actually the given information. So before going to give the proof, we are going to construct. Means we are going to construct some information that will help for proof. What is the construction? I join this radius to the point of contact and this radius to the point of contact. And we know this is radius and this is radius. Also I joined this P to O. So that construction what we did, that we will write here. Construction. Join OA, OB. Of course they are equal in length and the length is radius, R units, because we don't know how much centimeters or meters, whatever it may be. And also what we did, join. Okay, this is the construction we did. Now the proof. Before going to proof, actually we should write what is our aim to prove. What is our aim to prove? PA is equal to PB. This is our aim to prove. Actually this we can write before the construction, or if now also, no problem. See, proof. So from diagram we can observe this AOP is one triangle, like that BOP also one triangle. So from triangle AOP, triangle BOP, what you can observe, OP is equal to PO because they are common. We don't bother about the length, but definitely they are common and they are equal. OA is equal to OB is equal to R from construction or from information given we can write. And we know that what we know, see, OA is the always radius and it is perpendicular to the tangent to the circle at the point of contact. We know that only we will write here. We know that radius of a circle always perpendicular to the tangent of the same circle at point of contact. That means this radius is perpendicular to this tangent PA at A. This radius is perpendicular to this tangent PB at B. So what you can conclude? Angle PAO is equal to angle PBO is equal to 90 degrees. It is right angle. So when it is right angle, definitely it is an hypotenuse. It is right angle, it is hypotenuse. So from these three, see, OP is equal to OP. Now this is a right angle triangle, so this will be the hypotenuse. And this is OA OB, side of the right angle side. And this is right angle. So from this we conclude triangle PBO is congruent to triangle PAO by RHS congruency criteria. congruency criteria. RHS means right angle, hypotenuse at end side. By using this congruency criteria, we find out these two triangles are congruent. When they are congruent, that means their corresponding sides are equal, corresponding angles are equal. We know it by the definition of the congruent triangles. From there, what we can conclude? PA is equal to PB because by CP CT. We can give the proof like this. Thank you. If you have interested at my classes, please contact me. Thank you very much. Radian and degree. Actually, from starting, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, we are learning about angle. Generally measuring in degrees. Okay? See, what is this radian then? That is also measuring of angle. See, we have two systems. Actually, we have three systems: radian and degree and gradient system. In the radian system, we are measuring the angle in radians. And in sexagesimal system, measuring the angles degrees, and gradient system, measuring the angles in grades. But now I am going to give brief information about relation between radian and degree. Radian and degree. See, actually how they define degree. Actually, by the definition of an angle, suppose if you take a ray OA which rotates and how much distance it rotated is called an angle. They define like that. Actually, angle definition it is. Suppose OA ray, it is OA ray rotated till here, and this is an angle. Some angle, how much we don't know. The distance. In the same way, suppose if you take a ray and it completes one rotation, one revolution, they only take this complete distance and divide into 360 equal parts. And that one part is 1 degree. That means this is 360 degrees. Again, this 1 degree dividing into 60 equal parts. And that they say 1 minute. That means 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. 60 minutes. Same way that 1 minute again divided into 60 equal parts. 1 minute, 60 equal parts, and that they said 1 second. That means 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. This is very important in angles. Now I will tell you about the radian, because if you want to see the relation between them, how can we find out radians into degrees, degrees into radians? We have to know about the radian. See how they define the radian. I will give you the definition by figure. Suppose if you take a circle with center O and its radius is r, and they are taking length of arc with the length of radius r. See, when you take one arc with the length of radius r, this arc subtended angle at center of the circle is, they defined 1 radian. So 1 radian means arc of a circle length in radius subtended at center is 1 radian. They define like that. So when you take this radius, length of arc is 1 radius. This much, this arc subtended at center is, this angle is, they defined as 1 radian. So 1 r, 1 radian they will give you. Suppose if you take arc of length of arc 2 radius, that will be the 1 more radian, means total 2 radians. Suppose 3 radians. So what I am trying to tell you, arc length 1 radius, 1 radian, angular 1 radian, 2 radius. Just for idea I am writing here 2 radians. In such a way, how much length will be this? Because this is the circumference of the circle. Circumference means 2 pi r, means 2 pi r radius, means total angle you will get. How much that is? 2 pi radians. But we know this is in degrees, 360 degrees. That means 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees. Pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degrees. The same way 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radians. Thank you.